Season 19 is underway. So much of the start of the season is focused on Katie. And the question we kind of left last season asking, which is, can these women trust Katie?
Yes.
Now that we are July 2025, where did you land? Can you trust Katie?
I think it's very obvious that we cannot, and I think that's unfortunate. And I also think it didn't have to be that way, which was especially frustrating for me. And I think you can kind of see that because I don't really get it. I don't understand it. It's like you came into this group of friends. All you had to do was just be yourself and try to make relationships. And instead, she even admits it. She's like, I thought that it was, eat or be eaten. And I'm like, but why? So I just kind of think it's really unfortunate, but we're here and this is what it is.
I'm sorry I went about it the way I did. I was pissed. And I was also in protect mode.
Okay, I appreciate your apology, but I don't have any trust in you.
Okay?
Why were the apologies and her attempts to move forward not accepted by the group?
Well, because I think that she really wasn't making true apologies or taking true accountability or responsibility for anything. It was kind of like always kind of passing the buck, deflecting, being like, if I did anything to you, or not, honestly, just not admitting the things that she was doing. That was really frustrating. It's like, okay, she would say things like, I so miss hanging out with you, but she wasn't saying, I'm sorry that I lied about what I said to Heather about you. You know what I mean? And to me, that's important. I really am a person who can move past things, but I need somebody to be genuinely sorry and remorseful.
You called out Shannon for kind of taking up for her.
Yes.
Because Shannon felt like it was a gang up, the group against Katie.
Yes.
The audience is kind of reading it that same way too, to start. Do you think their opinion will change the more they see?
Well, I think absolutely. And I think the thing that sometimes is missed by the audience is at this point, I understand why it looks that way, because we're all now in a position where we're trying to hold somebody accountable for the things that they did that you did not see, And so it is in a way us all trying to address the issues that we have with this one woman, but it's like, why are we all doing this? We're doing this because this woman did something to all of us. She's not being attacked. She's being held accountable for things that she did, and she put herself in that position,
Yeah, so she does have at her hot pot this moment where she just kind of says, she kind of goes down the line as like, I am sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
I did some and I regret doing it. You know what I miss the most? Talking and laughing and hanging out with Gina.
I know. Okay, well, I'm happy. Well, thank you for saying that. You know what, Katie? That is why I hold on to this, because I genuinely liked you.
I appreciated that. I needed that, Brice. I really needed that, And so I try. I'm like, okay, that felt good to me. I think the unfortunate part is we're all individual people with our individual problems. So for me in that moment, I was like, girlfriend, this is what I needed. Thank you. I think it would take a little bit longer with Emily because she felt, more violated in a different way that, my stuff was minimal compared to some of the other stuff. And now, I've clearly opened up a fresh wound with Shannon.
Yes.
And, Shannon doesn't, she's pissed,
Tamra just told me that last year she recorded you at the gallery shoot and then sent the video to Alexis.
No one was
So this is what I'm talking about.
What do you view as the bigger offense, what Katie did to Emily or what she did to Shannon?
I mean, they're both bad, right? I think the thing that Katie did to Emily is definitely worse because it involves the kids. It's always when anything is touching upon the children, it's really tough to take on. Plus everything that Emily was going through already with Luke just made everything so much more, traumatizing for her. Yeah. But the thing with Shannon is you have to really look at where I'm not justifying Shannon's behavior. We all know shenanigans. But with that said, I mean, Shannon was going through the worst time of her life during all of that. And then to be, recorded in those moments, it just feels it's so violating, you know?
It was interesting to me that Katie tried to kind of snake her way out of taking ownership of doing that?
There is no video that I recorded of Shannon. I recorded on a voice note and sent it to Matt.
Well, that's what she always does, right? It's, oh, I didn't call the person, I DM'd them. Oh, and it wasn't a true phone call. It was on Instagram. And that really, even that drove me nuts, because I'm like, so you did have you got on a line that was to another line to this person, and you had an audio conversation with this person, and you completely forgot about it. Like,
right.
That's really tough for me.
No network. I'm looking it up.
I would be climbing that tree to get reception. I'd be up there, hold on, guys, I almost got it.
Yeah, I have no network connection.
Here it is. I didn't talk to the blogger.
That's why the optics became, you're ganging up on her, but no, we're not. We're just trying to have her tell the truth at this point.
It's like this slow build of a frustration for everybody that just kind of
exploded.
Yes.
And it's like, these are the moments when you just need to be transparent and say, whoops, sorry, my bad, yeah, I did do that, and I'm sorry, or don't be sorry.
Right,
or be like, yeah, I talked to that blogger,
yeah,
and I would do it again. Yeah, whatever.
I asked Jen if she called me a con artist. She said she never said that.
Katie, she did tell me I said that. And then I said, wow, like that wasn't very nice of me.
It's manipulation.
I don't really know if I used that word about you.
What was the context of Jen calling her a con artist, allegedly?
So that was like over the summer, Jen was actually struggling because she was talking to me a lot, and she was saying that a lot of Katie's stories didn't add up, and I feel like she was trying to get an understanding of whether or not she could trust Katie, yada, yada, yada. And at one point she said to me, she was like, I was even talking to Ryan, and I was like, Ryan, could this girl be a con artist? So it was something like that. That's why I was very careful with my words. I never said Jen called her a con artist. I said she used the word con artist. And my point is, she doesn't trust you.
Even the person closest to you in this group is questioning
you to the point where she's using words that are, pretty heavy words. And maybe we should all look at this, And also Jen is so nice, and then she kept defending her. So I wanted to remind Jen, like, Jen, even you are saying things about her behavior. Yeah. Emily and I got to the point where we were feeling very much like we were in the middle of a lot of the different chaos and the fights that were happening with the other cast members. And I think that at one point I might even have turned to Emily and been like, I wish we could all just give a lie detector test, because like, honestly, you get to the point where you're exhausted. It's like you're trapped in the middle of she said this and she said that, and you just want it to be over. And it's like, let's just take the fastest trajectory to the truth,
Nobody believes you, not even the lie detector test.
She's so full of shit.
What did you get out of that day of everyone getting a polygraph test?
I mean, we got to the bottom of people who are lying and people who are telling the truth. And I think the test was actually telling before anybody even took the test.
Okay,
just
were
when
some
they
people
were
not
aware of
wanting
it.
to do it, or?
I think you'll see that, and I think that even that is like an indication of what is about to happen. I don't even know, honestly, Brice, if we needed to take the test, so.
You've never had a polygraph before?
No. There's a snake in this group.
No one likes a liar.
She's not telling the truth. The truth always comes to light.
So who came out the biggest liar?
I mean,
Katie?
I think we all know. I don't know if these are, tidbits that I can drop to you, but I just think that the important part of this is people show you and tell you who they are along the way, and the fans are smart. They see it, so even if they feel like, oh, we're ganging up on this girl, nobody is saying Katie sounds so honest, so, it is what it is.
In the tease, we do hear you say,
Kick rocks, girlfriend.
Is that at the lie detector? Is that after the results of it?
I can neither confirm nor deny, Brice, but
We know Katie skipped out on that final trip too. What do you think her future in this group looks like? Is there one for her?
I mean, honestly, I don't see that, I think the hard part is, and the unfortunate part is, like, you truly have to be friends with people in order to exist in this group, at least with someone, and I just don't think it works if you're not. And also, like, when you feel too vulnerable around someone, it doesn't work. You know, it affects the whole group.
Yeah, you don't want your walls up all the time.
Yeah, that's not entertaining.
She and Tamara seem to be a little buddy-buddy. Katie sent flowers to Watch What Happens Live, which was surprising to me coming out of the premiere and kind of where everything seemed to be going.
Right, yeah. I mean, to me, it just feels very calculated. I mean, you know, I think it seems desperate. And, you know, I don't blame her for trying, but I don't think that that's going to be the Band-Aid on this. You can't fix this by sending flowers, you know? It's like the husband who messes up too many times. You're not fixing this with a dozen roses, you know?
What diamonds do?
No, it's not.
It's not a gift.
No, it cannot be bought.
You all finished the season on that trip.
Yes.
Which I think Emily and Shannon have now both teased as kind of a wild ending, a never expected, never before seen something.
Yeah.
Who would you say is most responsible for where it lands?
Responsible is an interesting word, Brice.
Oh.
What I will say is I think that it is no surprise that Gretchen coming back to the group has affected the group dramatically. And it's no surprise to the fans that Gretchen and Tamara have 12 years of brutal history that needed to be hashed out. And I think that ultimately affected a lot of the tail end of our season.
When Gretchen like scream cries at Heather in the trailer.
Make it make sense. Why?
Is that on that trip?
That's so hard to watch, right?
Yeah.
I know.
Well, that's like guttural. It's like, ooh, you have been stabbed somewhere and you are trying to figure out.
I know.
I think she even says like, it's like a why. It's like, et tu, Brute? Like, you did this to me too, kind of thing.
Yes. And my response is always, for everyone in that circumstance, you did it to yourself.
Well, on the note of Gretchen, you were in the room when she and Tamara came face to face for the first time.
Hi, Tamra.
Hi, how are you? Let me reintroduce myself.
What was that like to experience?
It was so uncomfortable. It was so uncomfortable. It was honestly, I felt the same exact way when Shannon and Alexis had to come into the room.
You had like
together.
deja vu almost.
I literally had deja vu. It was the same, like, you know, going up the roller coaster about to go down, like kind of
your stomach just goes out from under you.
Yeah, it was wild. And it was like even weirder because Tamara just did that whole, hi, nice to meet you, da 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 da, and I was like, what the going on? It was bizarre, yeah, but it was kind of like a little bit of this and that. You know what? They kind of danced around each other for a while. I do think that Tamara did want to try to move forward, but I think also Gretchen came into this with a lot of things that she felt she needed to address.
Yeah, I think Tamara was like, I can
didn't.
wipe the slate clean, and Gretchen was like, well, I gotta unpack all this emotional baggage I've been carrying around for 12 years when I haven't been on TV.
Yeah, exactly. And so it was like an interesting thing that they were doing for a while. It was sort of like a cagey type dancing around it. Like, you're talking a lot about it to us, but you're not
Does
actually.
it finally hit a head at some point? Like, it all comes out?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think actually we could probably do another round of it though. You know,
Oh, okay.
like I do.
So we've just scratched the
I do.
surface
I
after
think
this season.
So, yeah.
How overall, because this was your first filming experience with Gretchen, I don't know what you knew of her, experienced of her off camera, but did she bring to the show what needed to be brought?
I think Gretchen's a character for sure. You know, I actually liked her a lot more than I thought I was gonna like her. I didn't really know her. You know, I maybe had been like a social event with her prior, so I didn't really know her. So I was surprised by how much I actually just did like her as a person. Like she's in on the joke. She lets me and Emily joke around with her. Like I loved all that. I thought she was gonna be really sassy and really like fiery. I don't think she's a wallflower, and I don't think she backed down to things, but I just thought she was gonna be like a firecracker, and it wasn't.
More of a sparkler.
Yeah, yeah. She's a pretty sparkler, you know what I mean?
You can hold it in your hand without fear of it
Yes,
exploding.
without fear of your hand getting blown off. Exactly, yes.
So she could come back for season 20, you think?
I mean, I think anything's possible, Brice. Yeah.
Even Katie?
That I don't.
Okay.
I think I've closed the book to everything but that. Yeah, I think we've closed the book to that.
On the front of your personal life,
yes,
we hear you say in the trailer,
Travis's son, we haven't seen in 3 weeks. He's got to go back to court.
Whenever Travis and I are happy, we pay for it.
I assume that means his ex is causing the headaches again.
Yeah, it's really hard. It's hard. That's something that is a constant in our life and our family dynamic. And yeah, it's hard. It's hard to navigate around that. I'm realizing like I don't really need to fear it because it can't hurt you if you're not doing anything wrong. Yeah. And if you're just trying to live your life and love your kids and be a happy family, then that nothing can hurt you, you know?
Is there a light at the end of the tunnel? Does it feel like it's going to, at least on the legal front, like finally be?
I hope so. I do. I hope so for his sake, honestly. This has taken a really heavy toll on Trav, and he's just like a genuinely great human, and it's a really sad circumstance that he's had to, you know, navigate and push through. And, you know, also just having that even minimally be public is very difficult. He didn't sign up for this. They didn't want that. And so I'm just trying to do my best to help him get through it, support him, love on my kids and my stepkids, and help us get through it.
Well, and then on top of this, your ex had a health scare.
I know.
That was like a real scare.
Yeah,
like, could have lost him.
yeah, I had a heart attack, like a full-blown heart attack, and it was literally terrifying because you know what? I am a worrier, and I am scared of like so many things, but like honestly, that never entered into my mind.
Right.
So now it's like new fear unlocked for me. For like a couple weeks, I was living in that like what if world. But now, you know, it's a couple months later, he's made a lot of really healthy lifestyle changes and he's doing great.
And then in terms of moving back in with Travis, how did that feel after the pain of separating last year?
It felt so good, Brice.
So it was the right choice.
So good. It was totally the right choice. We're supposed to be together and we're a really great team together and we love each other. And like we have such a good family, you know?
Well, and you work together too.
So many things together.
Your whole life.
I know.
How do people who come to you for real estate stuff, do they ask about the show and want to like talk about it, or are you able to keep it separated?
It's so funny because it's like a healthy mix, I think. But honestly, the majority of our business just comes from now, like us being in the community and referrals. But
you're putting up an in escrow or sold sign every single day on Instagram. So.
We're doing really good. The gated group, call us. Yeah, holler at your girl if you need to buy or sell. No, yeah, it's been really wonderful, and it's really cool, kind of bringing this to life and expanding our team and working together, and that's been a whole nother challenge, you know, so it's been cool.
You're not the only one with the real estate license on this cast. Would you hire Tamra?
You know what's so interesting? Tamara actually she started to talk to me about that at the tail end of the season.
Oh.
And I was like,
I feel like every 3 or 4 years she gets the itch to like get back into it.
Yeah, I think she does. And I was like, you know what, babe, even if you want to send me referrals, I will pay you a referral fee. So
she keeps her license up to date.
She does. Yeah, she does. So, which I think is smart. You know, Tamara's a hustler. She's a businesswoman.
Yes.
So.
All right, we've got a lot of season to watch. From polygraph tests to betrayals, what should we be bracing for impact for?
Oh my God. You should definitely be in Brice position for the entirety of this trip, Brice.
Okay, so that Amsterdam trip is Amsterdam.
That is Amsterdam for sure. Yeah. And it's so fun, and I think it's visually beautiful too. And also, like, we have a lot of fun.
Shannon said she ate a lot of things that maybe aren't legal here.
Brice. We did drugs together. It was actually, that is like the highlight of the trip for me, is tripping with
Shannon Bedore.
With Shannon Bedore, yes. By far will forever be at the top.
So is that the
memories.
thing we should be looking forward to, is seeing spacey Shannon Storms?
I mean, Shannon Space Cakes is top notch, chef's kiss.